What is going on, Swoopers? Welcome back to another episode of Swoop Luke. In this episode, we'll be reviewing the drawn Richmond Collingwood game from the other night. So let's run that intro, jump straight into it. Just before we do jump straight into it, I want to thank all my new followers over the last few days. I think I've gotten about 15 new followers, subscribers, whatever you want to call them, over the last couple of days. So welcome to the channel. Be sure to hit that bell, and if you're not subscribed yet, be sure to hit that subscribe button. You'll get informed when I make these videos. They're not just previews, they're not just reviews. Whole bunch of everything else, music edits and other stuff in the works. But yeah, let's just jump straight into this review now. So this was a super weird, wonderful, insane game. We've been waiting 83 days for the footy to be back. Came back on Thursday night. Collingwood Richmond was built up to be this huge spectacle. We knew it was going to be scrappy. We knew it was going to be a little bit sloppy. But did we know that there was only going to be 10 goals kicked between the two teams? The lowest score of this century. The first drawn game between Collingwood and Richmond since 1917. So that's just mind-blowing. Crazy. But let's just jump into a little bit of the debrief. And I think Mason Cox said it best when he said in one of his tweets that this game pretty much sums up 2020. No winner, and everybody is left disappointed. And that's just kind of how I feel. All Friday, I was just numb, flat. Thursday night, I was angry, upset. If you follow me on Instagram at Swoop Luke, you'll see, all my videos and all my comments and stuff. And yeah, it was just a weird feeling after waiting 3 months for a game to put up that sort of effort. After a great, really good first quarter, put up 4 goals, kept the Tigers goalless, kept the premiership team goalless. And that says a lot about how we went about the first quarter. Obviously we put on 4 goals ourselves and we just came out of the blocks firing. Could have put a dagger in the heart a couple of times, but we didn't. We let them come back in the second quarter. Tom Lynch kicked 3 of their only goals for that half. Bit of a shambles in that defensive line on one of those goals. Moore and Ruffhead were just caught in no man's land. Tom Lynch took an uncontested mark, went back, slotted his second goal, and they kind of just went on momentum from there. And then as the game played out, I don't have to tell you, we didn't kick a goal for 1 hour, but somehow we managed a draw. Did we deserve to win? No. Did we deserve to lose? I don't think we did, because not scoring a goal for 60 minutes, a whole hour, with a great team like Richmond, I think that is such a defensively amazing, weird game. Obviously, no goals, but Richmond weren't smashing goals either. They went goalless in the last quarter. Obviously, so did we, and they only kicked 2 goals in the third quarter. 2 real gimme goals, but I will talk about that a little bit later. As I mentioned, it was the first game back, so it was going to be very sloppy, very, how's it going? The MCG did look a little bit wet, a little bit dewy, a lot of, fumbling and stuff like that. Obviously, the gas in the tank wasn't in there for most of the game. Guys weren't backing themselves to kick. Kicks were just shit house. So I think it was bound to happen during that game anyway. So let's move on to the things that I did like. I usually like to keep this in 3 little highlights, 3 little dot points, but if I go over or under, that it is what it is. So let's go with the first one. So one of the things that I absolutely loved was our defense. Like I just mentioned, didn't kick a goal for 60 minutes, but Richmond was doing all the attacking for the majority of the second, third, and the last quarter. And to only concede, in that third quarter we conceded 3 goals. So we conceded 5 goals from quarter time. But to only concede 5 goals against a premiership team is just insane for the type of game that it was. You've got to put it into context. And I think that our defense is so criminally underrated that it isn't funny anymore. Howe pretty much won the game, not off his own boot, but off his own marking ability, spoiling ability, and the way he, his footy IQ. I know that's a cliche thing to say, but he knows where to be and went to be, pretty much. When you do break it down, Richmond didn't score a goal in the first quarter, didn't score a goal in the last quarter. So pretty much for a half of football, they didn't score a goal. Premiership team didn't score a goal. And I'm going to keep harking on to that. One thing that I want to hark on about, Richmond had 12 more inside 50s than us. Now get this stat. I keep saying that our team was really good defensively. We had 29 tackles to their 70. They absolutely dominated us in the tackles, but somehow we were still a very good defensive side. Dacos played his greatest game for the club. Well, not greatest, his best game for the club. He went at nearly 90% disposal efficiency from over 25 touches. He did some really nice things, couple of, turns, setting up a couple of players and stuff. There were times where he would just grab the ball, chuck it onto his boot looking for a big top to go 50, 60 meters. Didn't happen, kind of gets, sprayed, goes into the corridor and stuff like that. But besides that, he has now staked his claim in this team, and I don't see him coming out anytime soon. There was an umming and ahhing about him last year, but he looked like he put the work in at pre-season and then during the COVID pre-season, and he did play his best game for the club yesterday. Darcy Cameron, what is going on with this kid? Came from Sydney, played one game for Sydney, one of those Derek Hine specials pretty much, kind of like a Jack Crisp, from another club where they didn't really want him. And without Coxie, he played that role really well. Sound ruckman when Grundy went out for about 10 to 15 minutes. He did what he needed to do. Took a good mark. Yes, he was a little bit fumbly. Didn't really have that confidence with the ball, but that'll come, He's playing, I was going to say, in front of an 80,000 crowd, but he definitely wasn't playing in front of any crowd. But that'll come with time. And on the basis of his performance, I don't see Cox getting a go in this side. Dislikes. Alright, there is a lot to dislike about this game. Let's start off with the most obvious one. No goals for a whole hour of football. 1 hour. One whole hour. Shades of the 2019 prelim. I was there, this was me, in that last quarter like this, just waiting for a goal, and the goal never came, but neither did their goal. So, crazy. I can't fathom that we played such a good first quarter and then put up absolute shithousery for the next three. It's just, honestly, mind-boggling, mind-blowing, and if it doesn't change, defenses do win you games, but so does fucking scoring goals. So that was my first dislike of the game. This might be a little bit controversial, but DeGoey did sweet F all the other day. It looks like he was in no man's land. Should he be a midfielder? Should he be a forward? We saw what he can do in the midfield. We know what he can do in the forward line. And I just felt like maybe it was a coaching decision, or maybe because the ball never went up there. But we needed to go in that forward line in that last quarter because none of our forwards were doing anything for us. I'll get into our forwards a little bit later, but first let's stick with DeGoey. He just looked lost, like I said. He had 4 kicks at goal, all snaps, 2 points, and 2 on the fulls, or 2, just balls that went nowhere. But there was this one, I'll try and find the footage if I can, where he clears the pack, he's on a bit of an angle, and you could just, no pressure, you could just drop punt it straight. He goes for the outside of his boot, and it's just ridiculous, You're paid to kick goals, and if you're wanting $1 million a season and you're missing those sort of goals, it's like, come on, man. He did the exact same thing against the Western Bulldogs, trying to check side it when he should have just drop punted it. Drop punt. It's the simplest kick. If it sprays, it sprays. But with a banana or with a check side, you have to hit it so fucking sweet to get it in the right spot, and he just wasn't doing it yesterday. And if I see him snap, one more ball, I'm gonna snap. I'm literally just going to snap. But that segues into our forward line. Myercheck, Jamie Elliott, Josh Thomas, Callum Brown, unsighted. Myercheck missed an easy set shot, and then he took a great mark, played on straight away. He wasn't even like fully up. Played on straight away, touched, missed, and that was in the third quarter when we needed goals. Elliott and Thomas were unsighted for the majority of the game. I honestly can't tell you one thing that they did good or well, and I don't see how they make the team next week. I think maybe Elliott can stay in, but I don't see how Josh Thomas or just either of them make the team next week with Steve-O on the sidelines. And finally, the Ark can get The Ark can kindly go away. A multi-million-dollar organisation putting up, I've seen 7-Eleven security camera footage have better frame rates and pixels than that bullshit that they're putting up. I do not understand it. I've talked about it last year, and I'll bring it up again. The EPL have goal line technology where they can see if a soccer ball has crossed the line by 25 mil. 25 mil. 2.5 centimeters. They can see that. But this is how it looks. This is how Arc works. The ball is here, and then they press one frame, and the ball's here. They go back, the ball's here. Press another frame, the ball's here. Where the hell is the ball from this frame to this frame? Where's all this? Where's all this? The umpire is paid to make these adjudications. He was there. The umpire was like this, looking at the ball. He's right there. He goes, yeah, I think it's a behind, but I don't trust myself anymore because of this arc system. So can we please go up? And if you tell me that it's conclusive, you can see yourself out. Thank you very much. Thank you, mother, for the rabbits. You can go see yourself out. So where the game was won, lost, and now drawn, it would be remiss of me to say that the game wasn't lost when we didn't kick a goal for 60 minutes. I think that's just obvious. But after quarter time, we knew Richmond were going to come out, and they started spreading the ball a lot better, or playing wider. The short kicks, the first quarter we were doing a lot of short kicks out of defence and, handballing and stuff, and really getting that play going and building from the back line. But I feel like after quarter time, we kind of just lost that, and the Tigers just picked it up, and they started doing that a little bit more and a little bit better than us. And their counter-punching, their counter-attacking was definitely on par with some of their best work from last season. Obviously not up to that standard because, they didn't ultimately win the game. But I think that, we did match them, but for a majority of those last three quarters, we just really couldn't go with them. And I think it's definitely something that we have to look at. Could it be that we just aren't a wet weather team anymore? I know it was only due, but, it happened against the Giants in the prelim. It was raining and it was wet, and we didn't kick a goal for ages, and same thing happened the other night. So maybe that's something that we have a look at as well. Another place where I thought we had lost it was that we don't put teams to the sword. We were up by 4 goals. I think we finished that quarter 4 goals, 1 maybe. Couple of missed chances, good chances, and we just never put teams to the sword when we should be, and that is something that has been plaguing us for the last couple of seasons. Anyway, special mentions. Collingwood social media team doing an outstanding job. So much love for the team there. Tom Phillips kicking 2 goals. Amazing. When all our forwards are nowhere to be seen, Phillips pops up, kicks 2 goals. Well done, Flipper. Tyler Brown, second game. Played on Dusty, looked like he was going with him in the middle just a little bit. Maybe the coaches were just giving him a bit of a taste of what, they want him to be, I guess. But I really enjoyed seeing that. Really enjoyed seeing Tyler Brown. Anyway, guys, this has been my review. I think it might be a little bit lengthy. If you've watched the video this far, leave a yeah boy in the comments below. I'll give it a like, I'll give it a bit of a love, just to say thank you and I appreciate you. But until my next video, like, comment, subscribe, tell your family, tell your friends, tell your pets, and until next time, double shackers, I'll swoop you later.